everybody. Welcome to Podcast 13, where 13-year-olds talk about things that 13-year-olds care about. I'm Hailey.
I'm Fiona.
I'm Joanne.
And I'm Audrey.
We're your hosts for today's episode, The Twilight Zone. We'll be watching and discussing the classic Twilight Zone series. We'll be watching 3 episodes today. We're going to be watching Where Is Everybody, the first episode of the first season, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet with William Shatner, and that's the 3rd episode of the 5th season, and Time Enough at Last, the 8th episode of this first season. We'll first be watching Where Is Everybody, then we'll be watching Time Enough at Last, and then we'll be watching Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Have any of you ever seen The Twilight Zone?
I've never seen The Twilight Zone. I've heard that it's really good and that it'll send chills down your spine.
I've never watched The Twilight Zone, but I've seen the cover on accident while looking for a movie to watch.
Okay.
I also have never watched The Twilight Zone, but my mom used to watch it, and she really liked it.
I've seen The Twilight Zone, but I'm more acquainted with the Simpsons version of The Twilight Zone. Now we'll watch Where Is Everybody? But to the listeners, no time will have passed.
Past.
You're traveling to another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
And we're back. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Warning, in this podcast, there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched this 58-year-old show, go watch it now. Don't worry, we're not going anywhere.
Now for the questions. What did you think of this episode of The Twilight Zone? We were watching Where Is Everybody? This episode is about a guy, and he's in, like, a town all alone, and there's no one there, but it turns out it was, like, all a hallucination, because he was training to go to the moon. So what do you guys think of the episode?
I really liked the end. Like, it really brought the whole show together. Like, why is he in this town? And then, like, your questions gets all answers.
Yeah, it was
answered.
a nice twist.
Yeah, that was cool. And the person, he left a lot of room for inferences.
I'm actually pretty surprised he stayed sane for so long.
I
I would have gone crazy in like
Probably.
4 days.
Yeah, he probably had a bunch of training and stuff. Yeah. But I liked it when it was a mystery, but it was the first episode, like, ever, so you had to give an answer.
Yeah. Joanne, what did you think of this
In the beginning, I thought he was an idiot. No, but then at the end, I got scared because I didn't know what's happening.
In all honesty, I thought Twilight Zone was like scary, but it's more like kind of
Creepy?
strange. It kind of twists your mind, you know?
Yeah,
I think that's what it's more
Definitely.
like. And if I was him, I would have like taken all that food, you know?
Yeah, you
No
know that
one's
bakery
there.
that you walked into, I'd be like, thank you for the cookie. There's no one here.
Yeah, I think, like, a scary part of it was, like, well, it wasn't really scary, it was just, like, kind of, like, made my heart jump, was when he ran into the mirror.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
that was
really
I
good.
thought he was running into a person, but then it was himself.
Yeah.
Because it was, like,
Well, it was like the camera, so it was, like, seemed like he was running towards the camera, but, like, the camera was pointed at a mirror, so he smashed it. It was really surprising.
Yeah.
Was this episode scary to you? If so, how?
I don't really think it was very scary.
I think it was, like, scary, but mentally, not like, ooga booga, it's a monster. Like, mentally, it's really, like, if you were alone in that town, you'd probably be, like, insane. Like, way faster than him. I would have probably broke when there was no one answering the telephone. It was a recording.
Yeah, that was
I would have
scary.
probably broke then.
Yeah.
I would have just collapsed and cried. I'd be like, why?
I think the first thing I'd do was get food. I'd be like, oh, ice cream, yum. He, like, got one bowl of ice cream, I'd take that whole tub.
I wouldn't even pay.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't pay either. But, like, he was trying to find people. I mean, it's okay.
He paid the payphone.
He paid the...
Yeah.
Well, you
so
have to pay the
Operate
payphone.
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he did pay for his, like, coffee, but that was the beginning. And then he didn't really care.
And I think this really reminded me of, like, a kid being home alone. You know, I mean, the kid,
the movie.
you know, somebody being, like, home alone, like, they can do anything they want. They can go.
But he didn't do that. He was more mature.
He was more mature, but, like, it just reminded me of him, a kid, like, I mean, they're going to know they're going to be home alone, but for him, he didn't know that he was going to be home alone. But, oh, yeah, I really liked it.
It was good, and I mean, it was pretty scary to me, at least, but it wasn't obviously scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had to think about it. And we have another one like that we're going to watch.
I feel like it wasn't very scary. It was strange.
Yeah.
Like creepy, sort of?
Yeah, kind of.
It was confusing in the beginning because he was just there in the town, but then in the end, it got cleared up because we know that he's tested to see if someone can survive without companionship.
I want to see what happens when he gets to the moon.
Yeah.
Honestly,
If he gets to
I
the
don't
moon.
think he's going
If he
anywhere.
gets to the moon.
if he's like mentally unstable, like
Wouldn't he not know how to operate the
they
rocket?
they should always have one
Like,
other person.
Yeah,
come
they should
with
have
you.
like two. Or maybe put a dog in there.
Yeah, dogs are always awesome.
Why wasn't there a dog
They-
in the thing? Like,
Because they're testing what his mental stability was. Well, they're trying to see how long it takes to go crazy.
Well, loneliness
Because
does
he's
do
going to be
strange
alone
things.
on the moon. He's
Yeah.
going to be alone in space.
Yeah, they like sent dogs and chimps in space, so they should like send a dog or no. At this time, there was no one actually went to the moon. I think at that time that they recorded and stuff and aired it. I don't think anyone. It was 1959, so
Yeah, that's the time when they haven't done anything.
yeah.
like
So
David.
it was actually really imaginative because no one has gone to the moon yet.
Loneliness does do strange things to you.
We have just watched Time Enough at Last. It's about Henry Bemis, this guy that loves to read, and he has a bank job, and his wife's mean, and his boss is mean. So he goes into the vault to read a book, and, there's an H-bomb, and so when he gets out of the vault, they're, everyone's dead, and so he's, wandering around, and he found food, and that was nice, and he can, survive, but he gets really bored and stuff, so he finds, a gun, and he's about to kill himself when he sees a library. Then he organizes all the books, and then his glasses break. And so then he couldn't read, so that's really, really sad. It's what, and Rod Serling wrote it, and it's his favorite episode that he wrote, which is really impressive. What did you guys think of this episode?
It was so sad. It wasn't fair.
Yeah,
Well, that's what he says.
that's the first thing that came to my mind after I watched this was really emotional. It was definitely really
It was so sad.
He was really lucky in the
It's just
beginning.
so depressing.
He was lucky in the beginning. He was because he survived the H-bomb that destroyed everything.
I know, but it's so sad. The higher you fly, the harder you fall. That's pretty much what this
Yeah.
is.
It kind of reminded me of the previous episode we watched,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they were both alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, isolation.
No one's there.
Agreed.
Except he knew why he was there, and he knew
Yeah,
who he
at
was.
least. Yeah.
And he got
That's
to
just
see
so sad.
all the things he missed and stuff.
All he wanted to do was read. Why were people so against him?
He did.
reading?
Yeah, his wife's a big meanie. So he had this poem book, and she crossed everything out
sucks.
in the book, and she asked him to read her some of the poems, and he was like, "Of course, dear." And then he found that they were all crossed out.
And then she tore the whole
Yeah.
book apart.
It was so horrible. She's such a meanie, big meanie. Funny.
Honestly, I think that if this person, if anybody loves something so much, then they should just be able to do that. I think if somebody liked
Yeah,
to play
I
sports,
think he should
so
get a
much.
divorce. I think he should have gotten a divorce a long time ago if she's so
Divorces
mean.
are kind of tough to do.
Yeah,
at
but
that time.
Well,
yeah,
but he could still have a divorce.
I
I
think
think he's too nice of a guy.
Yeah.
he is very kind. Later on, while he was alone, he was shouting Helen, his wife,
Yeah.
because he wanted to find her. I think he,
But
deep down, he
she
kind of cares.
dead.
But she's I don't know what's wrong with her. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
she's such
there
a jerk.
was.
The boss, it makes no sense. He's you're not allowed to read ever, including your lunch hours. That's free time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's your time.
But in a
Yeah,
way,
you
they
can't
kind
tell
of,
me what to do.
in a way, they kind of saved him because they that kind of forced him to be in the vault during his lunchtimes just to read.
So that's good.
All I can say was
Well, jerkiness
lucky.
saved him.
Well, but then at the
No,
end, it
but
wasn't
then
any
he died.
better.
It was
That's true. Well, he didn't die. He just got really sad. He probably shot himself.
Yeah, there's a lot
Oh,
of
no.
like things like, oh, why couldn't you have done this? Why couldn't you have done that? In a lot of movies, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
like and TV shows. Sorry.
Yeah, it was so sad. I mean, it was like one of the most like depressing. Like, if I was in his shoes, I would be like, no.
Yeah.
I would be so devastated. Like, there's no words to explain.
Because like
how
people say that
sad.
words are like they like what people. I think what he missed was like people talking to him. You know, like books kind of
He
like
didn't
like
care.
he was like lonely, wasn't he?
Well, he was lonely, and then he found books, and then he didn't really care.
His books are
his books
the
are
company.
his company.
Yeah, but he can't like talk to them. He could just read them.
Yeah, I think it tells stories. It keeps his mind occupied from really feeling like, oh yeah, I'm actually lonely. Everybody's dead around me, so I'll just read this book. You know, hopefully I'll feel better.
Well, I mean, going back to his death, he was gonna die with his books.
Well,
Yeah,
he dies
he
around
loves
this thing
you.
that he loves.
Well, he didn't die. He didn't die.
No, he will, because he can't
He-
find his way
He
to
will
back
die
to the food.
eventually.
Yeah, he will. Oh, yeah, because he can't find his way back.
To the
So it's
food
even
and stuff.
worse. It's even worse than like what I thought. It's like not just that he has no entertainment, no books, which he loves. It's like he now can't find his way anywhere. So he will
Yeah.
eventually starve to death next to those books.
Yeah, and he even organized which month, how many books, the next year and the year after that. And then in the end, right when he was about to read, he drops his glasses and they break.
And it's just like,
Yeah, it's so horrible.
yeah, we're like, oh, good job. You found something to do. You found something that you loved so much, and now you can't do that.
Yeah.
That is just a huge bummer.
Was this episode scary to you? If so, how?
Not
No,
really.
No, it was
Like-
more depressing.
Yeah,
It was very
Same
depressing.
here. It wasn't. It was like eerie, sort of, but like it wasn't. It was more sad than scary.
It was also
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
Like at some points, yeah. At some
to
points.
points it was funny, and he was such a nice guy. He wasn't like, oh yeah, boss, like I'm gonna get mad at you now because you told me not to do something. Or he didn't get mad at his wife very much. He didn't like do anything to his
No,
wife.
well, he got
But,
mad
like-
at her, but not like in like a aggressive way, like she did. Like, what the heck? You do not rip up someone's book.
Yeah,
Still forgave her.
I think he's
Yeah.
very passive.
this is just so depressing. This one like really like. I thought the Twilight Zone was like really gonna impact your emotions.
Like everyone has this in common. You need someone else.
Yeah,
Because we're
and
social animals.
they had
Exactly.
food, and both of these episodes, they had food, they had water, they had air. The
And
one
no
thing
one
they had
else,
nobody
yeah.
else to talk to. One thing that was a bit different was
Like he didn't really care that he had no one. He just had no entertainment. Henry, he really liked to read, so he didn't really care that there was no one else.
He was literally dying of boredom.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Literally. I never thought that phrase could actually work for like literal sense. We've just watched Nightmare in 20,000 Feet with William Shatner, and it's about a guy named Robert, and he's had a mental breakdown, and he's going on a plane to back home, and he thinks there's a gremlin on the side of the plane, and he goes really insane, and then he decides to steal a gun from a cop, and then decides to shoot the gremlin by opening the emergency exit. And, like, everyone thinks it's suicide, so now he's back in the loony bin. What'd you guys think of this episode?
It was incredibly frustrating.
Yeah, like
Yes.
there's so many things he could have done to avoid on where he is now.
Well, no, but I mean the other people too.
The
they
other
didn't
people were
live it.
frustrating, too.
But I understand him. I understand them because they didn't see it. But
Yeah.
the gremlin itself was so annoying.
He blew
It was so-
away, going.
He was so dumb looking. He was all like, waddle, 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 and he was really
He
fuzzy.
honestly looked really stupid.
Yeah,
and the jump scare-
whenever someone was about to look at him, he just jumped away and like flew away.
And it
Like,
was just so comical because his arms were, all his limbs were spread out.
Yeah.
And they were in the middle of a storm too.
And
Yeah.
I feel like the jump scare that they had was when he opened the window,
like,
and he
but
was so
like
close
really
to the window.
slowly, and like his nose was pressed up against it, and
That was not scary. That was just like
Like,
it was
startling.
startling.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
and like I remember when you, like, pointed out a flaw in the gremlin, like, you could see when he was kneeling, you could see his shoes.
Yeah, I could see the costume of the gremlin. So, like, that was poor
What was
filming.
made job
It's
time
okay.
ago?
This was made it was a while ago. So
Yeah, it was made
obviously the quality
in
wasn't very good.
1963. Yeah, it wasn't that good.
It was creative.
Yeah, very creative. And, like, it was just, like, the wife and this and, like, a
The
lot of things
wife
happened.
was so dumb. I don't like
No,
her.
the wife was, like, the
know what?
wife
I
was
think
dumb.
everyone
But
was
understandable.
dumb.
no, the wife was dumb,
That's
but,
true.
like, she stuck by him. She wasn't, like, stop overreacting or
I
whatever.
appreciate
like,
her loyalty
I appreciate
and
that.
understanding.
If you say there's a ghost to someone, of course they wouldn't believe you.
Yeah.
Because they can't see it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he has history, so, like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
that's the thing that
He-
really held everything
I don't
back.
understand why the gremlin only showed itself
To the guy.
Yeah,
him.
Probably because the gremlin.
Bob. His name is Bob.
Yeah,
Bob.
Like
Come on.
maybe because like the gremlin knew that Bob was kind of insane.
But
or
that's so
whatever.
weird. I want to know
It's
what
the
it really
Twilight
is.
Zone.
It's probably some type of monster thing.
Yeah, so like
Well, no, duh.
honestly, I feel like that this was very frustrating, as you said.
Oh.
But like this one, out of like all of them, it was like different than the two other ones because the two other ones played off loneliness. But this one, well,
Insanity type.
insanity and like when he opened the window, the debate between you could see him thinking in his mind. Should I grab that guy's gun?
He
Yes,
already
he should.
grabbed the guy's gun before he opened the window.
Although he opened the emergency thing to shoot the gremlin,
Yeah.
he technically still saved everyone.
Yeah, but
he
no
actually
one
did.
knows.
Yeah.
No one knew.
But
well,
no,
you
better
could
than-
see. You could see on the plane wing how
Yeah.
it was open.
Well, it doesn't matter if anyone's, at least they're saved.
Yeah, no one was stupid.
So that's
no
the good
one,
part, at least,
No
then.
one was smart enough to actually look at the plane wing to see if he was right.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Like, but he has history. That's the point.
Yeah.
Honestly, would you believe somebody like this who has history
Yeah.
is gonna do this?
Oh, I know what the gremlin looks like. It looks like a yeti.
Yeah,
Kind of.
looks like a gorilla or King Kong or
That was a
something.
monkey.
It does not look like
Yeah,
it does not look like King Kong because King Kong is larger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like the size of a man, so probably like a yeti type.
How did he get up there?
He's a magical being. He can just jump and fly, and he can like.
But he got shot.
Yeah, and he got shot.
Well,
so like,
maybe he wasn't dead.
and where did he go?
In reality, if you're on a plane and you're shooting and you're in the middle of a storm, so that's higher winds, logically
The
the
bullets
bullets
gonna-
wouldn't be able
To go that
to reach the gremlin. How could he clearly see it? How could
Yeah.
he shoot? Literally, his legs were still in the plane.
How
He
did
was
the
just hanging
seatbelt
out
help
there.
him? Like the seatbelt was like on his thighs or something. It wasn't even on his waist area.
No, it was like on his ankles because his upper body was hanging out. Your legs were long.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
I feel like he didn't think things
Well,
through.
yeah.
No.
I guess it was frustrating because I remember the part where he was deciding whether to open the curtain or not, and everyone's like, "No, don't,"
Yeah.
and then he did it.
and then saw the face of the gremlin right
Oh,
on the window.
I think all the side characters were frustrating, especially the wife, because
Yeah.
Bob tried to wake his wife up to see the gremlin, and she wouldn't wake up.
After she told Bob, "You could wake me up for anything."
She wouldn't wake
I
up.
feel like this story really plays off integrity. He did this, but he knows, like it said in the end, he knows that nobody's gonna believe him until, of course, they see the plane wing. But he knows that, like, he's not gonna get thanked for it. He's actually gonna get to go take a trip back to the loony bin. So I mean, like, it really plays off integrity and
He
how.
actually promised if like the pilots didn't see the gremlin on the side of the plane, that he would go back to the loony bin. So actually, he didn't really break his promise, which is good.
Yeah, I think
He's a
that
liar.
it was good. Yeah, I like this. This is pretty good. Just really frustrating.
I'm a big fan of twists and like action movies.
Yeah.
So this was. I also really liked this episode, but my favorite part was when he had the sleeping pill. He acted like he took it, but he was really hiding.
That
it
was
at
so
the top of his
smart.
mouth.
Oh yeah, that was really
That was
smart
one of my
for a
favorite
crazy
parts.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was smart.
But then
Well,
again,
who
he's
would
not
think of it?
crazy.
That's true.
And
He's, like,
wait,
sorta
I want to know what happened to his mental breakdown in the first part.
Well, we
What
don't
was
know.
it?
Plane. It's about something about.
Yeah,
It was a
something
plane, so like
plane.
maybe he did see another gremlin or something on the plane, and
No,
Most definitely
no.
not.
well, I don't know, like, if everybody thinks he's crazy, then I want to know what happened in the first experience.
Well, how are we
if
supposed to
he
know?
had
I like that they didn't left that a mystery.
If he had such a history with planes, first of all, why
didn't
he
you take a
ride,
train?
Why would he fly on a plane again?
And they
That
said it was
makes
going to go
no
from
sense.
point A to B. There was no stops or anything. Very smart, wifey. Very smart.
There are other ways of transportation, like train.
And if
But-
you're going overseas, take a boat or something.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
actually, if like there was stops and stuff, I think that would just prolong his suffering.
Right.
Yeah. So like A to B is better than A, B, C, D, E,
Yeah.
and then
I don't know. This is just really frustrating. But overall, it was very well made,
yeah.
except the fact that we could see the costume shoe.
Yeah, it was made a long time ago.
Okay. What was the episode scary to you?
No.
Well, the
The
part
jump
where-
scare.
it was-
The jump scare was a bit.
Yeah.
It was startling.
That was startling because like the mask wasn't creepy or anything.
And his face was all smooshed up.
I
He was
know,
like-
right?
on the window.
I think
see
we should
him.
just have a moment of appreciation towards the actor.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
William
Because
Shatner
everyone
also
else
played in
Including
Trek?
the stewardess person. She sucked.
Oh,
Oh my god,
so
she kept,
creepy.
her
She
eyes
looked
kept
like-
looking everywhere, and
She was
Yeah.
smiling
Hers, like-
so creepily.
Her eyes, it's like
Like
staring at
aging,
people.
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
she was smiling so creepily.
she acts like how I would act. I can't act.
going
He's
into
like a little
Will Shatner.
nosy.
He played on Star Trek. Well, the beginning, the original
Yeah,
series
he-
of Star Trek.
Yeah,
He
that was
Captain
this was
Kirk.
this was 3 years
And
before.
he, like, I watched the entire season of
But-
that. He did a pretty good job of being insane.
There was a bonus episode, Trios of Horror 4, and the short was Terror at 5.5 feet. This is The Simpsons, season 5. And it was pretty good. It was a parody of Nightmare at 20,000 feet. And it was about Bart. He had a nightmare about the bus crashing. He went on the bus. There's a gremlin on the side of the bus. No one believed him. Went to the loony bin. What did you guys think of that episode?
The Gremlin was scarier. The Gremlin was
Yeah, that's Gremlin was way scarier than the
and that
original
Gremlin
Twilight
is
Zone.
animated. So this is more recent. So I mean, would you be scared of horror movies back then or now? Probably now because they have all these effects and stuff.
Yeah, but
Even if it's animated.
now it's like more stupid. Oh no, another purge! I'm more afraid of the actual movie than what's in it. But I think the
one's-
Simpson parody was more scary than the original.
Because
Actually,
you could see the
But it-
costume on the Gremlin in the other one.
The last part was so scary. Like the gremlin,
He held the head.
he came back and he was on the bus.
Well, he was in the
Well,
like the loony bin ambulance. He came up behind it.
Right. And he was in the window and he was just holding a head.
Ned Flanders' head and was still talking. He was like, "Hidely ho, Bart."
And I feel like
And
this
like
is
you could see
the bone and
the
the
bow,
flesh.
like
Yeah.
the
I feel like
spine.
this
That was
is more
horrifying.
scary because like this is a car, something that everybody uses. But on the other one, the Rod Sterling one, it was a plane. Like how often do you go on a plane, right? But this was like a bus. This was something that you'd use every single day, unless you're a really famous person travel at the time. But
So
like
you're saying that we could easily connect to this, so it's more frightening?
yeah,
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
much.
that's true. Well,
even if this was animated,
okay. This was this episode scary to you?
kind
A
of.
little, not-
Kind of.
Kind
like,
of.
not a lot, but a little.
Because like the last part was the scariest.
Yeah,
But
it
it
was really weird. It
Like
was
if
so
I watched
frightening.
this again, I don't think I'd be very scared. Or
Because
anything.
you already know what's gonna
I
happen.
know it's gonna happen, but like I feel like this one is more like, oh yeah, there's a headless person in this. There's a gremlin that looks pretty creepy. And I feel like
Not a
even
headless person, just a head.
head that's still talking.
Yeah, but you said a headless person.
Oh, sorry. A head that's still talking, which is
Bodiless person.
bodiless.
In comparison, Which episode was the most scariest to you now that we have this one?
This one.
This one was the most scary. But it's not my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the most scary.
This one was funny. This is a bit funny.
Yeah.
But the same thing happened. How like people didn't believe him and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel like we know what's gonna happen.
Even when
there's
there's
gotta
like,
be a
proof
gremlin
on the bus and plane, where there are like marks and stuff,
Yeah.
but still no one like.
Except it was more like obvious with this one. It's like the bus was breaking down. There's like no tires and stuff.
And the gremlin waves from the ambulance. Hello.
But this time, everyone actually looked through the window trying to see the monster, whereas Twilight Zone 1, a lot of them just took a long time just to finally look through the window, and they just did not
Yeah.
believe
Yeah, exactly.
Bob.
But I personally think that the original Twilight Zone Nightmare at 20,000 feet, it was more eerie
Yeah.
because of the acting and stuff. And like
Really
the close-ups, like
shattered.
the position of the camera could make you feel more eerie and stuff.
I really liked it because like of all like the different. It was like a different version of this. You know, it was different. It was nice. It was a lightweight.
Version.
Yeah, the animated version. It was a nice way to like end this off. You know,
Yeah.
very light and kind of funny, except the gremlin.
That's all the time we have for this podcast. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye!
Bye. But wait.
Fun fact from Audrey. William Shatner, that appeared in one of the episodes we watched today, also appeared in another episode, Nick of Time. Okay, now it's really the end. Hope to see you next time on Podcast 13.
Bye.
I'd like to thank Rod Serling for creating the amazing, groundbreaking show, The Twilight Zone, The Simpsons for doing a great parody of the great show and reminding us how good The Twilight Zone is, Marius Constant for writing the memorable Twilight Zone theme music, and last but not least, my fellow hosts, Fiona, Audrey, and Joanne. This is Hailey signing off.